sorry, I might have to get back to you.
Bear that little clip in mind, my friends, because I believe our sniggling 30p Lee Anderson really embarrassed himself. Why? Well, let's get into this little clip where our Lee Knox felt he was asking Councillor Rebecca Knox, chair of the Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue Authority, a bit of a zinger.
Chair, just a couple of quick questions, please, for Councillor Rebecca Knox. I think you was in agreement that your force was institutionally racist. Is that correct?
I agreed with the report, the independent report, and so did the Chief Fire Officer accept the findings.
Okay, so
of that
can you
report.
please tell me, Councillor, what unfair advantages white people have in your force?
I would hope not. None. Not advantages. Did I hear you?
Yeah, do they have any advantages?
No.
Then how can you be institutionally racist?
Sorry, I might have to get back to you.
Now, the reason why this bit is important is because I saw this on his Twitter account, just that little clip, and I thought, why stop there? Now, I had two thought processes as to the reason why, but before that, I decided to see what type of people are Lee, I want my country back Anderson and Reform were attracting. Well, there were those who hate lefties, obviously, the woke, racists who also hate lefties and pointless virtue signalling, whatever that means. Then there were those spewing anti-Semitic tropes, complimenting a Marmite man who jumped into bed with his third party since 2019 as someone who stands for something, whatever it is, no one really knows. Right up to those who didn't take our 30p Lee seriously whatsoever. And I don't know who this is, but if I was you, I'd stay well clear of him because he contributes nothing to the political discord and he should treat this political powerhouse with the respect he duly deserves. But something was bugging me about this clip that tweaked my curiosity as to why the clip was left there. I thought, was it either because she had nothing more interesting to say, so why bother carrying on? Or he's hiding something? Strangely enough, this person thought the very same thing, so I decided to see what would happen next.
No, you don't. You've said your force was institutionally racist, yet white people
misogynist,
yet white people have no advantage at all.
Yes.
So how can it be racist?
Maybe I was interpreting the phrase of it as a whole, as a phrase that Nazir summed up. But I would absolutely stand by that the force was not racist, but going back to the way that it was described.
I'm sorry. You said you agreed that your force was institutionally racist. So now I'm asking you, how is it racist? What advantages do white people have in your force?
And I'm saying that there are no advantages.
So then it can't be racist.
People.
So yeah, why clip this bit out? You've got a floundering on the ropes, wobbling all over the place, and your political prowess has got her running for cover. Now get in there and land the killer blow and finish her off too, Bob Lee.
Can I just interrupt at this point? Because the inquiry that was held into Dorset and Wiltshire, that was around misogyny and sexism. I think what I was referring to, Lee, was the quote that we were given in the last session, which was more generally about institutional racism, homophobia. So I think perhaps, Councillor, you might just want to reflect on what the inquiry was that you were concerned with and be clear on that.
Yes, of course, and yes, it was focused on culture, but I do see issues that affect the culture of racism as important. We do have some extremely good officers who in our service who are really good role models for the service. Okay. One in particular, Sam Allison, who received the King's Fire Services Medal this year, and he is the second black football referee in the Premiership. And he is an excellent role model for us.
Okay, just one more question, Chair. Just try and nail this down.
Oh, maybe that's the reason why that clip finished around the 30th or 40th second mark, sniggling to Bob Lee. You made an absolute tit of yourself, didn't you, as always? But you know how thick and numb your fans are, because they won't be interested in watching the whole meeting, because there are too many intelligent people with big complicated words and serious people who take their positions and jobs very seriously. So why would they want to watch that, eh? And how do I know? Spare a thought for Rebecca Knox, who, after trying to understand whatever our Leanderthal was trying to say, because here she said something that was very, very important.
I think what the independent report and our previous report identified was that we needed more safe spaces for females and others to be able to call out where they were experiencing unfortunate and bad behaviour within the workplace. We have put in some processes which will allow for that. We've got a Safe To campaign, which means that individuals can find exactly the type of assistance and practical help they need in order to address the concerns of misconduct within the workplace.
I get that, but I didn't ask
Thank
that.
you.
I didn't ask that. I asked which group of people have an unfair advantage within your force.
And I'm sorry, I was just trying to say to you that I think perhaps the females and others who haven't felt that they could call out and speak out in a safe space were disadvantaged, but now we are addressing that. We're not complacent to the fact that that was a need which was identified in the independent report that was commissioned.
Okay, thank you. Carolyn Harris.
In other words, shut the fuck up, 30p Lee, you're embarrassing yourself again. Well, that's what I think Dame Dana Johnson was thinking when she said that. Also, that's all he said after as well. He said nothing to the next witness. And who was he? The Minister for Crime, Policing and Fire, Chris Phibbs, as I say. And he just sat there like the complete clown that he actually is. Also, what an arsehole as well. Fancy clipping this to try and make Rebecca Knox look really, really silly while covering up his own ineptitude, eh? But anyway, what did you expect from an attention-seeking, grifting, lying racist, eh? But what do you guys think? That's more important. Let me know down below. I'll leave a link in the description box below this clip if you want to watch it. And I'll also leave a link for the committee meeting as well. And just leaves it to say, I shall leave the video here. Have a fantastic weekend and take care, my friends.